Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley Warren, aka Mooch, and I am here with Coach Daryl Williams on another episode of the Coach Williams Show. How are you doing, Coach Williams?
Doing very well.
Good, good. So this past Saturday, we just played the Falcons from St. Aug. So how'd that game go?
Well, it was a little disappointing. We played maybe a half correct in the first half. In the second half, we had a total letdown. I didn't know it would feel this bad being 4-2 at this point in the season, but we got to push forward and get ready for this week.
I agree. I agree. It's just still high hopes, right? So, how does this work with coming to CIAA? What do we have to do?
Well, we still control our own destiny. I think we're in a good position right now. We just got to make sure we take care of the things on our end and not worry about any other team. I think we need to just continue to focus on ourselves more than anything. No disrespect to Shaw coming up. They'll be a tough opponent, but it's more about us than anything.
All right, I agree. Now, for this past game, just to bring up some highlights, what would you say are some things we need to improve from this past game?
Well, first and foremost, we need to take care of the red zone. I think we got down there 5 or 6 times, and I think we missed the field goal. We had a couple touchdowns called back. We had 2 touchdowns called back on penalties, on simple mistakes. Quarterback overthrew a couple guys. We had a holding call. It's all self-inflicted wounds. It's nothing, taking nothing away from St. Aug. They did a good job. But it's all self-inflicted wounds things that we can correct, and we haven't been making those mistakes all year long.
Mm-hmm. Now, just for me, because I'm a girl, I don't really know sports too much. What do you mean by self-inflicted things that we could have prevented?
Well, it's all mistakes that the other team had no bearing on us. We did things to ourselves that we hadn't done all year long, and that when you do it with a team that's halfway decent, as St. Aug is, they took advantage of the mistakes that we made.
All right. Now, what are some great highlights from the game? What are you proud of from the game? Although we didn't take the win, but it was some things you were like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud.
Well, we had Rodney Brooks step in and play corner. He's a freshman. He did an excellent job. Gomez, our kicker, still doing an excellent job. He handled both responsibilities, the punting and the kicking. That's about it right now. We had too many drops from the receiver position. We had too many holding penalties from the offensive line. We had a slew of mistakes, a whole lot of mistakes that were all things that, hadn't happened all year long, and fine time for them to happen. Our first conference game on the South Side.
All right, all right. So, what's your hopes for next game?
Well, right now we just want to hope that we have a good week of practice. It's supposed to rain later in the week, maybe starting tomorrow. So we want to make sure that make sure we have all the basics covered and that sort of thing. We're not going to make a lot of wholesale changes. We'll have 1 or 2 different changes on offense, but we're not going to make a lot of wholesale changes because we're right there. We just got to find a way to quit making the mistakes and get over the hump.
Mm-hmm. Now, players, I know last game, not when we played, not this past Saturday, St. Aug, we had a lot of players out. How are we doing with that? We got some of our players back?
Injury-wise, we'll have everybody available. I don't see anybody that'll be sitting out. Only person that's in question is Corey, the receiver. So we'll see what his availability is. But we have everybody loaded, and there is no more excuses. We just got to get it done.
All right, let's get it done. Let's get it done. In this coming game, I believe we are playing Shaw. Shaw, right? Correct?
Big, strong, tough team. Games always comes down to who makes the less mistakes and less turnovers. We're going to have a change at quarterback this week. Xavier Longerbeam is going to start. So we just want to minimize the errors that we've had on our team and go from there.
All right, I agree. Well, this segment of the Coach Williams Show has been brought to you by our sponsors, John McGrill of the Edward Jones Investments, Jennings Insurance Agency, Hotwire Communications, and F&M Bank. We're going to go to a quick break real quick.
This is Mark Jennings of the Jennings Insurance Agency. I'm not just a local agent, I'm also your neighbor. So what matters most to you also matters most to me. At my agency, I take the time to make sure I understand your insurance needs. So for auto, home, or life insurance, come see me today and let me show you how having an agent who cares can make all the difference in the world. Join me in Salisbury at 503 Faith Road, right next door to Winks. Or just give me a call, 704-637-7733, and put the Jennings Agency on your side.
For 140 years, Livingstone College has stood for academic excellence and Christian values. Our holistic learning environment helps students discover who they are, awaken their potential, and prepare them for the global society. Under the leadership of Dr. Jimmy R. Jenkins Sr., our mission is stronger now than ever. Visit livingstone.edu to learn how we meet students where they are and take them to where they need to be. When you think of excellence, think Livingstone.
For 140 years, Livingstone College has stood for academic excellence and Christian values. As times change, we're committed to preparing students for the global society. When you think of excellence, think Livingstone.
Have you always dreamed of earning a degree? Then stop snoozing and start classes now. Livingstone College's evening and weekend program makes it easy. We offer flexible hours, small class sizes, and free tutoring. Livingstone College's evening and weekend program is designed for working adults. If you are returning to school after several years or transferring from a community college, you'll find others just like you. Call 704-216-6039 to change your life today. That's 704-216-6039 or visit livingstone.edu. Act now, classes begin soon.
Greetings, future Blue Bears, parents. My name is Avion Green, a current junior here at my illustrious institution, Livingstone College. Welcome to our house. As our special guests, we are here to show you what our campus life is like beneath thy maples and thy oaks at Livingstone College. As you learn about our clubs, organizations, along with everyday life as a Blue Bear, make sure to get information about financial aid, scholarship opportunities, housing, registration, and our Success Center programs. Enjoy free food, prizes, performances by our band and cheerleaders. Apply and get admitted on the spot.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome to our house, Livingstone College.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to remind you that this segment of the Coach Williams Show is brought to you by our sponsors, John McGrill of Edward Jones Investments, Jennings Insurance Agency, Hotwire Communications, and F&M Bank. All right, Coach, so we just discussed the back game that just took place with St. Aug Falcons. So I want to get a little bit more personal, just about you, some background about you. So where are you from?
Originally from Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee. All right. How'd you work all the way to North Carolina? That's a long way.
And being a college football coach, it'll take you from parts of the country that you may have not heard of. You go where the job is, if the pay is correct, and you know, football's football no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm. So you played football, correct?
Yeah, I played a little bit. I played quarterback. Most people don't know I started out playing running back in Little League football, and then I eventually took over the position quarterback and didn't really play any other position besides that.
So that's obviously the reason you decided to be a coach more so?
Well, I wanted to coach either own my own business. I still think in this coaching profession, it's so fickle. I'm going to still have to get a second income coming from somewhere. But I enjoy coaching. It's not a job. To me, it's, when you help these young people matriculate through college and then, go on and graduate and then possibly play football. And I had some guys that's playing in the NFL now and possibly win a championship with these guys. There's no greater joy for those guys to come back and say, Coach, thank you. At the time, they don't understand the tough discipline, but later on, once they graduate, they'll come back and always say thank you.
Yeah, I think that's real bonding. That brings me to my next question. Do you see yourself in kind of some of these players, like, when you were playing and then giving them the game and the game plans? Does it help you, like, kind of see yourself in them?
No, I don't quite see myself in a lot of these players today because they're a little different. They're a little different than they have more to work with than what we had as players. More modern technology. They can get the film much quicker. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week now. When I played, 20, 25 years ago, it wasn't like that. You had to take a while to get the film. It was on VHS. Now everything goes through your telephone. The coach can be sitting in another state, and he can put the plays up on Huddle or different kind of videos, and you can get them instantly. Back when we played and I played, it wasn't like that. So they have more opportunities, 7-on-7 camps. We didn't have all that stuff when I played.
So have you ever had to worry about losing a player, not as in death, no, but as in like to another team, or when they graduate, how does that feel when you have to disconnect with the player?
Well, it's kind of like when you're building something, you bring a scaffold up, and then the scaffold helps get the building up, and then the scaffold goes. So players are like that always. You can't per se put all your trust in one player. It's a player-coach relationship. You have to have a system, which we have, and the system, and I've been fortunate enough that I've been to 4 or 5 different colleges, and we've ran the same system, and it all produced championships. The only thing is just hadn't produced one here yet. So I think once you have a system, you take a look at the Alabamas and the Notre Dames and the North Carolinas, your Mac Browns and your Nick Sabans. You take a look at those guys. They have a system in place. Urban Meyer, when he was at Florida, once you have a system in place, you can take it anywhere you go. The people may change, but the system, you may have to tweak it to wherever you are.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Now, would you change anything about you coaching now, or I know you said something about owning a business and stuff. Would you change anything?
No, I wouldn't change anything because coaching is a passion. Like I said, when I wake up in the morning, it's not like I'm coming to a job. I come to a hobby that they give me a stipend for every month. That's the way I look at it and see it. You can affect these young people in a number of different ways. You don't always get immediate gratification. We've won the academic award the last 2 years. I think we got one of the highest graduation rates on campus. Those things, people don't get to see those things a lot, but it's got to create to wins on the football field, to keep a coach around.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Now, my next question before we go back to break, do you ever feel like sometimes, let me rephrase this. What would you have to say to anyone who has a different perspective of Livingstone College's football team? If they have a different perception, or, what would you like to say to them of who are we?
Well, if you look at the records from the time we played football, meaning the college, the time to start playing college, most people might not recognize this, but all things being equal, I got the 3rd best winning percentage here of the school's history. So it's not like we've done a lot of winning here, but we're real close. And the administration has been supportive. AD Mass has been supportive. It's just we're right there, and we got to find a way to get over the hump. And I try to explain to the players every week that we can only do so much to put you in position. At some point in time, I want to take the game out of the quarterback's hands, but at some point in time, he has to make a play, or the safety have to make a play. We only can do so much as coaches, but it's my job to make sure that's what they pay me for, to help get these guys over the hump.
Yep, I agree. I love it. I love that you love these guys. You love the game itself as a whole. So that's amazing. It's an honor to have you here on our coaching our team too. All right. This segment was brought to you by our sponsors, Jennings Insurance Agency, John McGraw of Edward Jones Investments, Hotwire Communications, and F&M Bank. We're going to go to a break real quick, and we'll be right back.
For 140 years, Livingstone College has stood for academic excellence and Christian values. As times change, we're committed to preparing students for the global society. When you think of excellence, think Livingstone.
This is Mark Jennings of the Jennings Insurance Agency. I'm not just a local agent, I'm also your neighbor. So what matters most to you also matters most to me. At my agency, I take the time to make sure I understand your insurance needs. So for auto, home, or life insurance, come see me today and let me show you how having an agent who cares can make all the difference in the world.
Join me in Salisbury at 503 Faith Road, right next door to Winks. Or just give me a call, 704-637-7733, and put the Jennings Agency on your side.
For 140 years, Livingstone College has stood for academic excellence and Christian values. Our holistic learning environment helps students discover who they are, awaken their potential, and prepare them for the global society. Under the leadership of Dr. Jimmy R. Jenkins Sr., our mission is stronger now than ever. Visit livingstone.edu to learn how we meet students where they are and take them to where they need to be. When you think of excellence, think Livingstone.
Have you always dreamed of earning a degree? Then stop snoozing and start classes now. Livingstone College's evening and weekend program makes it easy. We offer flexible hours, small class sizes, and free tutoring. Livingstone College's evening and weekend program is designed for working adults. If you are returning to school after several years or transferring from a community college, you'll find others just like you. Call 704-216-6039 to change your life today. That's 704-216-6039 or visit livingstone.edu. Act now. Classes begin soon. Hello, everyone. We're back with another segment of Coach Williams' show, and the segment is brought to you by our sponsors, John McGrail of Edward Jones Investments, Jennings Insurance Agency, Hotwire Communications, and F&M Bank. All right, Coach Williams. So now back to our next game. We will be playing Shaw Bears this Saturday away. Was it this Saturday? Away at Shaw University in Raleigh, correct?
Yeah, they moved the game to St. Aug for unforeseen reasons. It's going to be their homecoming, and moving it up to 12 o'clock noon, so that's a little different for us. Everything's got to be adjusted a little earlier, so it's going to come quick.
Time management ain't no problem for us, right? No problem.
Hadn't been in the past. Hadn't been in the past.
Okay. Now, I have so about away games. Do you feel like it makes a difference with the players when they have home games and away games? Does that change the vibe, the energy?
Well, it does if you can. Depends on how far you're going. You can stay in a hotel the night before the game. You can keep all the team together. It's a little bit more of a controlled atmosphere. You can meet longer on Friday nights. You can meet a little early on Saturday mornings because everything's more controlled when you're away from home. There's no knock at being at home. It's a lot of distractions when you play at home. A whole lot of distractions.
Yeah, I bet. That'd be like what, fans, peers, the coach.
Yeah, it's just a lot of distraction. Even when I was a player playing at home, it's tough because you have your families coming in town. You're trying to worry about them. You're trying to worry about the game plan. Trying to make sure you're on time. Once you're away, you don't have to really worry about all that stuff. You just focus because there is no pass list for your family to get in, and it's just. I wake up and I go play. I don't have to worry about all the outside distractions of getting the places on time because we all go as a group. So it's a little bit different.
Right. So, how's your feelings about this game? What do you see? What do you foresee?
Well, I foresee us playing well. Want all the fans to continue to support. I know we've dropped 2 games in a row, and some people are questioning, are we going back to what we used to be and that sort of thing. It's just two football games. We still sit in second place in the South. The good thing about it, if everybody looks at the schedule, everybody has to come to Alumni Stadium. In order for you to make it to the CIAA championship, you got to come through Livingstone. There's no other way because we play our last 3 games at home. And all those teams that have a chance to possibly play for the South Championship. So you have to come through Livingstone and Alumni Stadium to get there. So there is no other way around it. Just things do happen. There is no excuse for us losing last week. It's very demoralizing. But that was last week. It's time to move on. We got Shaw this week. And if you're all in, you're all in. If you're not, you're not.
I like that. I like that answer. That's for all our fans, I guess, hitting the panic button. He said don't trip. We got this. We got this. I like that. You said everybody has to come through Livingstone. You got to get through us to get to the CIAA.
Well, that's the way the schedule's set up. It's it is what it is. We got everybody at home. I think that's a good deal for us playing in your own backyard and with all 3 tough opponents at the end of the season. It's just a matter of getting over the hump this one game against Shaw, and we'll see what happens. But we'll be ready. I think our guys took a serious hit this past weekend, and the coaches also. It was very, very demoralizing. But, it happened last week. We're ready to move on and get back out to practice today and see what happens.
All right, let's get back to practice. All right, and my last question. Now, I remember asking you a question in one of our past episodes where I asked, what would you say to potential players if they wanted to be on our team or play college football, period? Now, and you gave me your answer for that. Yeah, I remember you definitely said education, definitely in the classes, in the books, now, and to have highlights and stuff. Now, to piggyback off of that question, what would be some things that you would tell them is no-goes? If you were planning on playing college football, what are some things you really kind of don't want out in the open?
Well, the biggest one now is social media. You don't want anything that's negative out about you. One of the other things is, having a criminal background. Anything in your background is a no-no. It's just those are the 2 biggest things, of making sure that you have a clean background and that, you don't have all that information and all your whole personal life on social media because, nobody wants to bring a problem into their program, no matter how good of an athlete that you may be, but nobody wants a problem.
All right. I agree with that. We don't want no problems. We're just here to play football. That's it. All right, Coach, it was amazing speaking with you again. I'm excited about this game, and let's see how this goes. I'm excited.
Yep. We'll be ready to play. Like I said, a little bitter taste in our mouth from last week, but we'll definitely be ready. We'll definitely bounce back. I got total faith in our players and our coaches, our training staff, and our equipment staff, so we'll be ready this Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's building up that little fire in there so we can just win. I think that's what happened. We're going to win. All right, everyone. That was Coach Williams, and that's what he has to say about our game. Everyone, don't forget, come out to Shaw University. Well, St. Aug. St. Aug. It's going to be at St. Aug at 12 noon this Saturday, and cheer for the Blue Bears because we're going to win. We will. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. And this segment of the Coach Daryl Williams Show is brought to you by our sponsors, John McGurl of Edward Jones Investments, Hotwire Communications, Jennings Insurance Agency, and F&M Bank.
For 140 years, Livingstone College has stood for academic excellence and Christian values. As times change, we're committed to preparing students for the global society. When you think of excellence, think Livingstone.